Hi, this is Dana, and I'm picking up now a topic from the previous video, namely the empaths as a oneness. Before I start talking about the topic, I want to make a clarification. I don't appear in my videos. You don't see my face because I, unfortunately, yeah, I'm here surrounded by neighbors who keep doing gang stalking and energy attacks based on images, on altars, and candle magic, and all sorts of other things. I have been trying to relocate for a long time, move away from this area, but unfortunately, this has been delayed much more than I expected. And so God guided me to finally start my videos without an image, since that would give them new ways to um, attack me. I mean, the attacks can be sent anyway. This is also part of spiritual warfare, so I can explain it. But if they have your current image, the attack will be much more powerful. The energy they send will be much more powerful. What essentially is being done when they use your image in an attack is that they use the current image you have and they infuse that with the type of energy they decide, and then they project that on you. When they have your current image available to them, it's the attack is much more powerful, as essentially it generates a hologram which overlaps with your body, and that's energy overlapping with your energy. It's darkness overlapping with your light, so that is harmful, it's painful, it's many ways harmful. When this happens, the advice is, of course, for them not to have your current image. Not that they cannot do it if they don't have current image, but it's not that as powerful. So you can detect it, you can reject it, you can fight against it much easier, in a better way, more efficient. Um, if you cannot help it because you have to get out of the house at some point, and they take pictures and they film me in my own courtyard, they take pictures of me in my own courtyard and so on. So if this happens, then the advice always is, try to change your image, change your clothes, change your hairdo, change your hair color, change your makeup, change something so the image they have doesn't it's not accurate with your image. So that would be just a short advice for when you encounter this situation. Okay, but this I just wanted to explain why I don't appear in my videos, in case somebody finds it awkward. So you won't feel uncomfortable, so you won't imagine other things. Essentially, it's just I'm avoiding this type of attacks, or at least I'm trying to diminish the power of these attacks on me. Hopefully, I get to move out soon from here, and then this won't be such a huge problem anymore. Okay, so now back to the topic, the empaths as oneness. I touched a little bit on this topic in the previous video. I will try to explain a little bit more here. As I said there, nobody is sent on earth to be only empath, or as people like to say it, only as healer, or only as tarot reader, and so on. Nobody also is not sent here on earth to be only warriors. We are all sent here to be oneness, and oneness means you integrate both the empath and the warrior within you. You identify both the empath and the warrior within you, and then you make conscious effort to integrate the two. This essentially comes down to feminine and masculine energy, basically, and everyone should have each of the two in balance, integrated, and they essentially rest upon each other. You know, the idea that some people are here on earth as light workers, only to be healers, that is very wrong. That's a fake knowledge which has been created on purpose for others to use these individuals, which is essentially enslavement. But then if you do not overcome this mindset which they created, this mind programming which they created, unfortunately, then you give them legitimacy to do so. And you become just a slave being vampirized continuously based on a wrong perception that you're here only to heal. That is not true. Everyone should be able to heal themselves first. And even any work with your gifts, be it healing, be it tarot reading, be it anything else, will bring spiritual attacks on you. So, like it or not, you have to learn spiritual fighting, and you have to do it. And I'm talking like this would be news only for those who don't know it, but many of those who actually started working with their gifts, I'm pretty sure they encounter more or less spiritual fighting. But now, even as a healer, if you think you're a healer as an empath, you have to understand that energy healing is only temporary. You can see a continuous recreation of the same attacks only because there is some sort of legitimacy, many of it being fake legitimacy, uh, which I called a bondage, and I explained a little bit in the previous videos about this. Um, which and this bondage has been created. Bondage meaning a lie, a scenario created about you, which is based on slander, on denigration on lies, on bending the truth, distorting the truth in any way, and so on. So there exists this kind of bondages which have been created in order for some attacks to continue, to be recreated, even if you heal them energetically. Um, so if you do not do spiritual fighting and you do not break those bondages, essentially you cannot heal. It's only a temporary energy healing, but it's never a deep healing that makes that go away. This is how attachments are being created. This is how possessions are being created. This is how addictions are being created. This is why some people, and it's not a weakness, some people keep having addictions that they cannot fight off. It's because there is a bondage somewhere in this or previous lifetimes which has been created on that individual or that individual lineage, on his entire family, um, which gives legitimacy to a darkness attachment. That means until you break that bondage, you're gonna freaking have that addiction. You, your children, and everyone else in your family or in your lineage, because it's a bondage which has been created at some point in time. You have to understand what bondage so you can break it. So you have to do spiritual fighting. You see, even as a healer, if you want to do deep, thorough healing, you will do spiritual fighting. If not, it will just continuously recreate itself. So true healing involves spiritual fighting as well. So you cannot be only empath, only healer, only. It's the same thing about tarot readers and so on. Now, since you didn't come here to only to heal, then the question is, who are you meant to be here? Now, in my view, this is always between you and God, and it's a fluid process of you becoming someone. There is there is some sort of inheritance, if you want to call it this way. There is something that you came here to do specifically, and this is to deal with bondages that have been created in previous embodiments, in previous lifetimes. And to deal with that is exactly what I was saying earlier, namely to break bondages created during those lifetimes, to heal traumas, to heal energy, and so on from previous lifetimes, as I said. They are part of your journey, but it's a journey of you becoming. And you becoming, it's a very fluid process in which God will give you more and more gifts, new gifts will activate on you. And it always can be a mutual process between you and God. You can claim things. You can, if you feel passionate about something, or you like something to do, or you already have experience in a field and you want to somehow apply your new abilities in that field, then you can claim things, and God will help you achieve them. Uh, to heal previous lifetimes is it means you must identify what to heal, what bondage was created, how you must break it so you can actually um, uh, break free. Essentially, this is how I call it: break free from that, and you can evolve on your path. But you don't have to get stuck in those identities. So identities from previous lifetimes will come to you for this purpose, so you can heal, break bondage, do the spiritual fighting, and heal what was created. But you don't have to get stuck in that. This is a process of you becoming, evolving, creating with God. um, Now, working with your gifts in this time, throughout this process, is a way of you to step into power. Is a process of you becoming, learning how to use your gifts, how to use your power, how to heal yourself, and so on. But it is a way to also break blockages which have been created on you to use those gifts, or bondages created um, in previous lifetimes come to you, are being revealed by God, and your attackers come to you as you start using your gifts. And this is how you learn about bondages being created. Okay, but again, any type of activity that you developed as empath, be it a tarot reader or a divination, any type of divination, or a healer, and so on, is only a temporary thing, and it's only one dimension of you. You have to evolve, and you have to learn about yourself, and you have to find yourself, essentially. Now, in this process, as I said earlier, it's extremely important to learn to detach yourself, to transmute. And I will do a special video only on transmutation, because God keeps emphasizing this. He wants me to talk about this at length. So I will do a separate video on transmutation. This is essentially just detachment, emotional detachment. Um, but it has to be done on many different levels, and it pertains rationale. So it's a mind decision, but then it's also about energy, how you work with your energy to create that, and how you work with God to create that. Now, another thing, as I said in previous video, is you have to learn to not give undeserved forgiveness, because giving undeserved forgiveness perpetuates the same situation. But this is the other side of the coin of transmutation. Not giving undeserved forgiveness is the same thing as detaching yourself from the situation. You do not need to judge others. You just need to claim justice and judgment from God. It is not your issue to give forgiveness. This is a very wrong perception, a very wrong fake knowledge out there, that you have to give love and light to everyone. You have to give compassion. You don't really have to give anything. You can very well transmute and detach yourself and allow God to do work. You don't really have to do this. Essentially, also because you don't really know exactly who that person is. As you can see, you yourself has to discover have to discover who you are. Okay, we all have to discover who we are. You cannot assume that you know who the other one is. Okay, because they have to go through the same process. They themselves don't know who they are. So making all these judgments about the other, about being guilty of something, is as wrong as is to make judgments that they're not guilty of something. You do not know, actually. And the best thing is to detach yourself and just allow God to show everyone who's who and did what. This is extremely important, and the most important lesson to learn. And I emphasize this especially on empaths, because I believe they are the biggest problem here. Because if you do not give a permission for them to feed on your energy, all of these individuals won't be able to do it. So the heavy burden is on empaths to understand how not to allow for this to happen. And then all of this doing harm basically have nowhere to feed on. I'll stop here for now, and I will make another video discussing in depth the transmutation process, which essentially is part of this topic as well, but it has to be dealt with separately. Please like, comment, subscribe to my videos, and if you have any questions, any topics, I have my own agenda of topics that I want to present, and I always take guidance from God what to talk about. But if you have questions, I would be happy to answer them. Okay, next time. See you next time.